Welcome to Ask the Tech Coach, brought to you by the TeacherCast Educational Network. If you are in charge of professional development and looking to build an innovative digital learning experience, this is the podcast for you. Join us each week as we uncover strategies that tech coaches are using to drive their digital transformations one classroom at a time. And now for your host, with over 2 decades of experience working with tech coaches and ed tech companies from all around the world, Jeff Bradbury.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TeacherCast Educational Network. My name is Jeff Bradbury. Thank you so much for joining us today and making TeacherCast your home for professional development. This is Ask the Tech Coach episode number 151, a bonus show. And today we're going to be talking all about online learning, and we have some fantastic guests for you today. And I hope you guys have a good time. Thanks so much for checking us out. Of course, you can find all the archives over at AskTheTechCoach.com, where we just recently spent the last few weeks redesigning everything. I hope you guys have a chance to check it out. And don't forget to check out our Tech Coaches Network, where you guys can become a part of our brand new membership site. Lots of great things happening over the summertime, and I'm looking forward to spending this school year with you guys. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And thank you guys for making TeacherCast a part of your professional learning network. My guest today is Dotan Tamir from a great company called Clickto. Dotan, how are you today? Welcome to Ask the Tech Coach.
Oh, good. Happy to be here.
It is so nice to have you guys. And of course, we are also joined by your partner, Josh Chernikoff. Josh, how are you today? Welcome to Ask the Tech Coach.
Thank you for having me. I have some spotty internet, which is not good for a technology company, but I'm trying to join.
That's okay. It is great to have you guys. Talk to us a little bit about yourself. You are in different parts of the world. How'd you guys meet? Talk to us a little bit about yourself. Dotan, I'll let you go first.
So, you know how every 2 people from Israel and from Maryland, DC, meet through somebody in Chicago. So actually, Josh and I met a few months ago. He joined our team at Clickto, which is a startup company based here in Tel Aviv. And we are in the business of disrupting online education. So, you know, we are all about innovation in how students, young kids to adults consume online education, interact with each other around education, and get tons of new knowledge and ideas out there. And you know, Josh and I both come from kind of a similar, interesting background. Maybe, Josh, you can talk more about how similar and different they are.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I was wondering if Dotan was going to bring this up because there was a worldwide competition going on between the two of us that we didn't know we were having, and he won it. And I'll explain that. Basically, Dotan and I both come from the in-person enrichment and camp business. And when the pandemic happened, both of us needed to pivot to online to potentially save our businesses and realize other revenue that was out there. And we both kind of had the idea of, hey, let's take enrichment and do our classes online. We both tried. He succeeded, and my platform was not so successful. I was lucky enough, though, to be connected with him through a mutual friend. So I'm a huge believer not only in what we're doing, but the guy who's running it as well, who was able to create a phenomenal platform here.
Today, we're going to be talking all about that great platform, but also kind of the effects of the last 18 months of education. In America, we are, I think it's safe to say, coming out of the pandemic. Some places a little bit better than others. Some of us in different locations are handling things differently. And I know that education going into this school year is going to look a little different. In the last school year, most of our classes were hybrid. They were physical. They were virtual. They were all different kinds. And I know in my district, we're looking forward to coming back to an all physical type classroom. And we're asking the question on Ask the Tech Coach over the last few weeks of what is that going to look like? In fact, even on our last episode, Sue and I did an episode on 3 questions that every tech coach needs to ask. I hope you guys have a Great time listening to that. But today, Dotan and Josh, you guys have your own story about the pandemic that really helped you guys forge this partnership. Talk to us a little bit about how the pandemic hit you guys and what came out of it.
Well, as just described, we had to pivot really, really quickly. And I had a business of STEM camps for kids here in Israel, in the States. And it's always about being together in person at a magical environment with small groups and instructors, giving kids an experience more than just education, but really an experience of learning together, exploring, and valuing, getting a lot of value from the group atmosphere. And I was wondering if that's going to happen online. And we did a small pilot, and it worked. So really, I went into one of those online groups and was kind of a outside viewer, and the kids were all into it. And it was all about being in a small group with an instructor, learning a topic by doing hands-on at something that is interesting for them, something that they're curious about. Once it worked, I realized that kids this age, in this generation, were really born into this video communication world. Something that us adults, are still a little bit, it's still a little bit challenging for us. We're still not always believing in that. I think this past year and a half taught all of us how video communication works, how easy it could be. Also, the bad things about it, the good things about it, but generally it pushed it to the front of stage. And then we started thinking, wait, this is not going to go away when the pandemic is over, because there's a whole opportunity here for education. I'll give an example that can relate to schools. So, and this is going to be a little bit revolutionary idea, maybe doesn't fit to every school already this year, but I believe that this is the future, and in a couple of years, we're going to see that happening in every school district, everywhere in America, everywhere in the world. Imagine, sometimes you have a school, in your school, you have, you want to start a new subject, a new class, let's say on, I don't know, the history of dinosaurs, whatever, great story. But you're not going to have the 20, 30 kids, and you can't really find that expert teacher that's going to come in person a few times during the week and do that class. So in the past, you would just give up and not innovate and not bring those new ideas. Now, that kids can actually interact great in a video setting, live in a group setting. So you could partner up with a few other schools in your area or anywhere, basically, and start this class online. So 5 students from this school, 5 students from that school, 5 students from this school, and it's a group, and the expert can be from anywhere. It doesn't even have to be a full-time teacher. It can be somebody that's just an expert and so passionate about teaching that has a day job, but they can actually join you online a few times a week and run this class. And then the students don't have to do it from home. They can still be in school with people taking care of them, around them, and the whole inside the school structure. But for that time of the day, go somewhere, go to a class, put headphones and a mic, and join this beautiful, class that otherwise they would never have in their area. So this is, something that if we think about it, this can change so much in education. And of course, there are people that are going to be against it at the beginning because it's kind of a disruption in what school is about. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea, and this is something that has been in the conversation for school districts in the United States. I know even in the state of Connecticut, where I am in, we are looking at enacting laws that say that we can have things like a virtual high school or virtual after school programs. And you did bring up a good idea. Let's say that you wanted to have a history of the dinosaurs program, but you don't have that teacher that can do that. Where do you go? Having a video system or having a curricular system where you can put everybody together is something that's needed. And coming out of the pandemic, we all know how to do it. We all know what it takes. We all know what we need to do. And I think that parents trust it now more than ever, certainly more than they would have trusted it 2 years ago. Talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you're hearing from the educators and from the community that you're working with. What do they think about being able to learn in an online environment such as this?
So it's an interesting conversation, and they are always the early adopters and innovators of the world, and they are always the other side of people who are kind of old school and want the old school stuff to come back and forget about this whole remote and online piece that we experienced in the past year and a half. There's in the ed tech world, there's a big trend right now that's about cohort-based learning. The old waves of education, they're not old, they still exist, but they are the first waves of education, of online education. They were all focused on courses that you can join online on your own, self-paced, pre-recorded, you do it on your own time. But and it started really nicely with so many platforms and course platforms out there. But the results show that only about 3% of the people actually complete those courses. And it's not a good number. And it makes sense. There are people that can do it and can commit to self-learning. But most people, it's very hard for them to do, especially in such a quick and fast-moving world like the one with so many things that are happening and surprises every day. And then the cohort-based learning speaks about people that want to do online learning from home, but they are doing it live, on live video, with a group setting, with an instructor or a teacher or an educator. And then they have more accountability and they commit, and there's a community and it's interactive, and it's much more similar to how we learn at school, old school and kindergarten and everything, because you are part of a group and you've always been learning from your peers and your instructor, not just by reading textbooks or viewing videos. So it shows close to a 90% completion rate when it comes to online cohort-based learning. Now, this is a trend that is going to affect what those kids are going to, what kind of courses those kids are going to participate when they grow up and do things out of school during high school time, or when they grow up and go to university, and university is going to offer those kind of online classes, maybe in a hybrid setting, so that some of the classes are going to be taken in person, some are going to be taken in cohort-based learning online. So when you look at the future, this is probably the future. And I think part of our role in schools is to prepare kids for their future. So they have to participate in such kind of classes, such kind of learning when they're already very young. So they get better prepared for the new world that is coming.
When a school district or when a community is looking to move in this direction, they've obviously got a lot of questions to ask themselves, to ask each other, and to figure out how we're going to be, really moving forward on this. When you're working with school districts, communities, organizations like this, what are some of the questions that you have the most, and what are some of the questions that you feel these groups should be asking themselves before moving into a virtual learning environment?
So I think that there are a few parts for this answer. One is the actual delivery, the methodology of how to deliver a great online class. This is the basics, and at Clickto, we are also asking ourselves this question every day and looking at our partners that are running courses for kids or for adults. What do they do well? Can they get better? Can they improve? How they should train their trainers to be really good at delivering and engaging fun, because education has to be fun. And it can be fun online. It can be really fun online if you use the right tools and if you have the right curriculum and if you go by the right methodology. But most teachers are still not there. They still need to improve. They still need to get better at this. And it's very exciting because it's a whole new opportunity to deliver things in a different way than they used to. Like, I see so many teachers that do so much better online than they do in person because they're in front of a screen, they have all those tools, they have this dashboard, they have a whiteboard, they have a lot of things that not necessarily they have in an in-person. Also, for the students, it's much easier to concentrate when there's one thing to concentrate and not a full class of kids doing different things. So methodology and delivery is very important, and we at Clickto, we are developing platforms for educators to grow and improve, but also we're developing the technology tools to show who's doing good, how's the engagement going, how's the attendance going. And so we're developing all those tech tools. And the other thing about that educators and organizations need to ask themselves is, how do I get into this? How do I manage this? This is happening in the online. It happens in the cloud. We used to manage things when it's in the school building, brick and mortar, classrooms, doors, but it's so much harder when it's online, when it's virtual, it's kind of invisible. So this is basically the whole idea of Clickto, is to be this online version of the offline school building, where we have all the classrooms, all the teachers are organized, all the meetings, everything, all the content, everything is organized in one big place, but it's one place. So you don't have to start creating links and send emails and get notifications and find the content and share screen. You put it all at one place. So you can duplicate, you can replicate, you can remove a lot of the stress that is involved with online learning.
Well, if you go back for the last 18 months, and if I think about being in that classroom for the first time, when the pandemic hit, I was a middle school teacher, and it was Monday morning, and here you go. And, we didn't have a dashboard. We didn't have anything to do. We had a video program, but it was still that Wild West idea of, okay, what's going to happen? How's it going to happen? How am I going to get these younger students from, link A to link B? And that's, as a teacher, as a father of my 7-year-old triplets in first grade at the time, actually in kindergarten at the time, trying to get them to go from, Google Meet link to all these different places, that was nuts. I love the fact that with Clickto, it provides, as you said, not only that dashboard for keeping track of everything, but for the students, it's one thing that you have to have. It's one thing that you need. Talk to us a little bit about the platform here briefly. If a school district, if a community organization, if anybody wants to check out Clickto and sign up, how does that work? What does that look like? What do they need to do to get started?
So Clickto is a great platform for managing and delivering online courses or online classes. It's great for a solo educator that just want those powerful tools to run their class. It's powerful for a small organization with just a few teachers, but it's also powerful for a big organization with 100 educators that maybe even come from different places. It's kind of easy to build everything there because it was designed by educators. All of our team is people that come from education. They understand the language, they understand the concept, and how an educator or an organization of education think when they build a program. So it's quite simple and easy and fun to build the program there. And everything is included, as I said. So the video platform is there, but it's a video platform that's designed for education with integrated whiteboards and content sharing. So you can have a classroom, a virtual classroom, that's called the history of dinosaurs, because I like the history of dinosaurs. And the teacher will have all their presentations and PDFs and demonstrations and exercises over there saved in that classroom. So when they start their live class, they never have to share screen. They all just click on the playlist on different pieces, and it's shared with their students. And then the students can come and draw on it and really interact with the content and with each other. It delivers, at Clickto, we give each student one single link. We call them the PAL, the personal access link. This is their link. They never had to find out where to go and where what's that teacher's Zoom link or stuff like that. They just click that link, and Clickto takes them to where they're supposed to go to, or show them a nice timer that counts down to the time of the class. And it's all branded. So as an organization, as a school, or as an academy, you want your brand to be in front. You don't just want black boxes fill the screen. So it's all branded with pictures and logos. So it gives a more of a community feeling to the experience. We work, as I said, with solo educators to big organizations. And we give what we are very proud of is our support teams. We call them the customer success team, that are based out of New York and New Jersey, and are available to help the admins, to train the educators. It's not a lot of training, but we want them to use all the nice features of the classroom. So we give them a short training. And to be there for any issue that may arise. We worked with a few after-school programs in New York City that are funded by the New York City Department of Youth and Community during this whole year, where kids joined their after-school activities from home online every single day. And they moved from yoga class to music to homework time to exercise to gathering of a few groups together to break time, all done automatically for them within the one single link. And for the teachers, they only have to log in. They see their nice schedule that is their schedule, and they join the different rooms. Now they get automatic attendance because we record all the attendance automatically. So for the admin, it's a great tool to come and check out what's going on, or to hop in and out between the rooms.
It's easy to use, and certainly something that school districts and other organizations are looking forward to have. Don't forget to head on over to clickto.live. That's CLICKTO.LIVE. And Dotan, as we start to turn the corner here, right? And as we, at least in my area, start to put the pandemic in the rearview mirror, and as we start to get back to being more of an in-person learning activity, there's still room in this world for the virtual events. There's still room for people to be learning from each other outside of a traditional 4 classroom walls. I wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of explore, what do you feel is the future of this type of a learning experience? What is the future of virtual learning? What is the future of hybrid learning? Where do you see this happening in 1 year, 5 years?
Wow. It's a little controversial because I'm a futurist person. So I think that online learning in the form of cohort-based, in the form of group meetings, will become the new standard in online education. And once it's a new standard, it can start sometimes from the bottom, from the kindergarten and K-12 schools. It can also start from the top, from the people who go to get upskilled professionally and take management courses online and computer science courses online, just to get a good career. And it can come from anywhere in between, university and others. At the end of the day, it's gonna boom in one of those educational sectors, and that's going to affect all the other sectors. because it's revolutionary, it's the future. It allows everybody from anywhere to become a learner on any topic, and it allows anybody from anywhere to become a teacher and an educator on any topic. So the opportunity is so big, so huge, that it's there's no, like, if I'm mistaken, I'm probably mistaken just by points, not by the whole idea. And then once it's there, then everybody will want it, because the benefits of sitting at home, taking an online class with a teacher that's an expert on something that I'm really interested in, with a group of other students that are really into this. This is something that we cannot do in person. I think that schools are going to stay in person. I think that the social experience of kids going to school, being in school for the day, is very important. I think that after school hours, beyond school, they're going to take online classes, and that's why schools can also get the benefits of it and integrate some online classes within the school schedule during the day. So that's kind of the beginning of the future, the way I see it.
You know, I'm reminded of the great Captain Steve Rogers, who in the last Avengers film was asked, how are we going to handle the situation? And his response was, together. And I think that you said it beautifully. Kids in classrooms are going to be kids in classrooms. But after that bell rings, there's so many opportunities to get together virtually, locally, globally, to participate with these, experts in their fields, with educators from around the world. And it is so easy now to be able to do this, and the technology is here and the software is here. And as coaches, this is our opportunity to continue those conversations, if you will, with your teachers, to help them understand what the value is, what the benefits are, and how they can continue to help their students, both physically and hybrid. I can only see this stuff taking off. Dotan, thank you so much for joining us today and making a great platform in Clickto. And where can somebody reach out and find out more about yourself, your company, and Clickto?
So my personal email is dotan, DOTAN, at clickto.live, which is also our website. And you can also find me on LinkedIn. I'll be happy to continue this discussion. I'm always happy to think about the future of online education together with other people. So I'm hoping to hear from some of your listeners. And we'll be really, really happy to meet people who might be interested in checking out the platform and give you a demo. Of course, it's going to be live with a real person on the other side. So live demo of the platform, and let you try and give us feedback.
Coaches, it is a great opportunity, and I hope you have had a great time listening to this. No matter where you are as a coach, there's a lot of great opportunities out there, both physical and virtual. And we hope you also have a chance to check out everything over on our website, askthetechcoach.com. You can find our blogs, our websites, and don't forget about our webinar series coming up. All the information is going to be over there on askthetechcoach.com. And that wraps up this episode number 151 of Ask the Tech Coach. On behalf of Dotan and everybody here on Clickto and the TeacherCast Educational Network, my name is Jeff Bradbury, reminding you guys to keep up the great work in your classrooms and continue sharing your passions with your students.
You've been listening to Ask the Tech Coach, hosted by Jeff Bradbury of the TeacherCast Educational Network. Please reach out to the show with all of your questions on Twitter at AskTheTechCoach or online at www.askthetechcoach.com. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. And please take a moment to write a review in the App Store.